Okay, so we lost the connection in the last live. I hope it is correct right now. Mm. Okay, so can you guys see me? Like, is my voice audible and everything fine? Anyone confirm that first, please? Okay, perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. Okay, now the questions. Okay, abstract thinker. So you want to know about government job, and you just had your birthday this month. Belated happy birthday. So 9:25 a.m. Okay, so you are an Aquarius ascendant. Your 10th lord is in the 8th house, Mars, and with it is with Rahu. You can have a good banking career, I would say. Ketu and Saturn is in the second house, and your Mars is in Uttara Falguni. I feel you're very, very good with numbers. So definitely you can do well in a banking job also. Your Atma Karka is Sun and your Amatya Karka is Moon. But I do see that business is going to be the best option for you. So at some point you'll also decide to go into business, and that will also be related to some sort of manufacturing or some sort of building something from the scratch. Okay, and about your spouse's appearance, I would say she's going to be a tall individual and very beautiful, very optimistic looks she'll going to be very, very pretty or very fair in color. And I also see that she'll have tall, she'll be tall. She'll have heavier thighs, since your seventh lord is in Sagittarius, and Sagittarius people have very prominent thighs. They have bulky thighs actually, and her weight will also fluctuate since there's moon also. And with Sagittarius also, people just tend to go fat, and they just become fat, and they just, when they're happy, and they just go shrink totally when they're sad or upset or something. Okay, and she will also look younger than her age. Okay. Sorry. Next, uh Nikhil Mishra. I'm preparing for UPSC. I will give my first attempt in 2004. I want a small guidance regarding my uh career. Okay, I am answering for Nikhil Mishra. So your birth details are, you are a number 3. It's 21st February 2001. Time is 1:35. Okay. I do see there can be some sort of delay within your education. So there can be chances that you might have to attempt more than once, which is, I think, very useful in the competitive exams, right? And I just want to refer to Prashna also. Just give me a second. Okay. Yes. And whenever you go for the examination, just do check your documentation very thoroughly, right? I don't see any specific problem, to be honest. I do see that there can be recognition within your exam and everything, but there can be some sort of delay also within your education, or it might have already happened, to be honest, right? And your career is fine. Your career will be related to something of some of research work, like doing something in your office like space and everything like that. Okay. So career just looks perfect to me. And you will be, since you are in the last phase of your sadhasati also, there can be some problems with concentration level and everything. But of course, since you'll try to focus more, it will be just better, because it is sadhasati. I personally feel sadhasati can be very helpful when you have very, it comes at that point when key areas of your life have to be developed. Like at your age, it's your career that has to be developed. Sadhasati is actually going to help you, because it is going to give you the taste of that practical side of life. Okay, so all the very best for that. Now, next. Okay, when will I able to switch my job? Megha, I do see there is going to be some sort of movement, but the timing I'm getting is four as a number. It can be 4 weeks or 4 months from now. Right? Next. Okay. Spring blossom. What can we expect with Aquarius Saturn return? As Saturn is my Amatya Karka and it aspects Sun, my Atma Karka from Leo. So that means you have Sun in the ascendant, and just a second. No, Saturn is your Amatya Karka and it's your Saturn return. So your Sun must be in Leo. But why are you saying from Leo? Okay, so I'm assuming that you're having your Saturn in the seventh house in Aquarius and your Sun is in the opposition. So, whenever the Saturn return is there, it's not very much different from a Sarasati or from a Daya or any transit of Saturn. See, the only way to understand the meaning of Saturn transit is that you need to see that where it is transiting, which house it is transiting in. So for you it is in the seventh house. That means Saturn just wants you to be very practical and organized with your seventh house. It wants you to be to lessen your ego, lower your ego, be more at service. If you're married, to your spouse. If not, to the general public. It will subject you to criticism, it will bring in judgments from people, but through that it will give you the reality check and it will grow you. So there can be partnerships, there can be relationships, but it would require you to be fully dedicated towards it. If you choose to be unethical to any area out of them, then it might give you the negative effects. It might take a relationship away. It might ruin a partnership if you are following that in a business. Okay, so it's the simple logic is only these two to three things. Okay, so whenever suppose it is a Saturn natal return, it's a Sadhasati or it's a simple Saturn transit, you need to understand these things with Saturn. Okay, next. Okay, Trishita Rajput. You want me to analyze your Bhrigu Bindu. That's a very, very interesting topic. I just love analyzing Bhrigu Bindu, because with my research, I've actually gone through a lot of things with Bhrigu Bindu, and it has just magically told me so many things. Okay, you are 27th October 2005, 1403, Mumbai. Okay. So your Bhrigu Bindu is in the fifth house and it is in the nakshatra of Mrigashara. So, Mrigashara, it's very commonly known for everyone who knows astrology. Mrigashara is about when you're searching something. In the past year, not in the past year, I would say in 2019, when Rahu was actually transiting Mrigashara towards the Gemini side, everyone assumed, and it actually happened, that people will find the cure for COVID. they will find that elixir or that medicine for COVID. And that was the time when the vaccine was introduced. So Mrigashira is a magical nakshatra. It's about finding, looking out for something. Just the only difference is the Gemini side is more about the research, and the Taurus side is more about something practical, something foundational. Okay, so you have your Bhrigu Bindu in the fifth house. First of all, you need to know what the fifth house is about. It can be about education, it can be about investments, speculation, shares. It can also be about when you are connecting with children. Okay, so it can be any one of them. Now the lord of Mrigashira and the lord of Taurus, these are the two planets we need to consider, right? The fifth lord, which is the Taurus sign, that is going into the 11th house, which is in the nakshatra of Jyeshtha and in the sign of Scorpio. Then Mrigashira's lord, which is Mars, that is in the fourth house, which is in the nakshatra of Bharani. So, with that, I do see a person to be an excellent astrologer or an excellent psychologist. More than an astrologer, I would say a psychologist, because I also see your moon to be in the eighth house in the sign of Leo. So I feel that you're very good with children, and somehow you can do very well in child psychology or something of that sort, right? So medical field, oh, you did mention that. I want to pursue medical field or forensic related. Yes, definitely, definitely medical field is where you wish you should be. See, that is the magic of Bhrigu Bindu. You don't need to see anything else. You don't need to see Atmakarka, Matyakarka. Just by analyzing the Bhrigu Bindu, you'll know where should go. Okay, so that is the best option for you. You should just go for it. That's a good goal. Now next. Okay. Okay, Prateek Singh, your question is there any bad yoga that delayed my career? Can I undergo LASIK eye surgery in Feb? I am worried about my Ketu sun eclipse. Okay, Prateek, just give me a second. It's 14th July. Okay, the time is okay. So your eclipse is in the 10th house. See, it's not actually the eclipse that is causing the delay. That's actually the sun in Gemini, in Punarvasu, which is causing the delay, I would say. You know why? I'll just explain you. See, sun in the 10th house. The person 10th house is about authority, it's your karma. And sun, although it has its strength in the 10th house, it feels in the 10th house, it feels good in the 10th house, because sun wants to be looked, wants to be recognized. But because of Ketu and sun conjunction, here a person is detaching from sun, detaching from the qualities of sun. So what happens, you have those capabilities, but you're not able to show them. And if the recognition for them is not there, you do not feel the urge to work. So because I feel, because of the confusion within what you should follow in your career, that is what is making that delay in your work. Okay, and you were about the surgery, right now Ketu is in your second house, so I hope that's the right eye that you're trying to get the surgery for. If yes, if it's your right eye, definitely I do see that is going to happen. That is just going to be fine, and you don't need to be worried about your sun and Ketu conjunction. You know, whenever there's conjunction which you think can be you know, problematic for you, just do what the conjunction wants. Sun and Ketu conjunction in the 10th, the person wants to be appreciated and the person wants to be in a business or wants to have the highest authority without even asking for that. Okay, so go for career options where you can have the highest authority, like business or somewhere where you have the highest position or anything like that. It's just the authority must be with you. Okay. And your Bhrigu Bindu, so your Bhrigu Bindu is actually in the eighth house, and it is in the nakshatra of Bharani. So it's more about the research work from your chart. Overall analysis, I would say your chart is actually about a person who is very, very creative on the inside. So if you do something which is about creativity, which is about making something from scratch, like for example, there are artists who are making things out of scratch. Suppose software engineers also, they are also sort of artists. They make softwares, right? They research and do it. Similar thing I see with you. Okay, next. Harshit, Harshit Bagora. I will just a second. I will get back to you. So you are October 23rd. Where did I? Yeah, 2000. So your question is also about your Bhrigu Bindu. So the place is. Okay, so your Bhrigu Bindu is in the ninth house. First thing that you get with the ninth house is that a person's fortune is at a distance. So definitely you'll require to settle, to go and settle at a distance for your fortune to earn money also. Now your your Bhrigu Bindu is in the nakshatra of Ashlesha in the ninth house. So see the Lord is in the 10th house, it's moon, and the moon is in the nakshatra of Magha. And then Ashlesha's nakshatra, Ashlesha's nakshatra lord is Mercury, that is in the 12th house, and that is in Vishakha. So, what I feel is that there is some sort of work that your family follows, a family business sort of thing. So I feel somehow you will take that to a distant land, and you will perform that. So I your fortune actually lies within your family business. Okay, and you are going to take that to a distance also. So there can be import and export of whatever your family does. Mostly I think those are going to be creative things, like maybe it's about something related to, what do we call that, uh, clothing or anything like that. Okay, next. Okay. REE. I'm answering for you now. So your details are November 11, 1989, 8:13 p.m. Please write in 24-hour format. Okay. Walker. That's a nice name. Okay, your marriage. So I do see that marriage can be delayed because of Saturn and Venus conjunction in the seventh house, and it's also in the sign of Sagittarius. So simply, it is actually a combination of delay, not the conjunction, I would say, but of course the sign also. Then your seventh lord is actually in your first house, so that means that you will decide on whom to get married. You're very considerate with this fact that you want to have a love marriage and you want to decide what spouse I'm going to have, right? Other thing is that your seventh lord goes into the first house in this nakshatra of Ardra, and it is retrograde. So of course your person, first of all, your person is going to be very mature, and older than you. Second of all, that he will be very very charming. He or she will be very very charming, but it's not necessary they are very pretty looking, but they'll be very charming. They'll have sharp and nice features. Okay. And another thing is that there are chances that he or she might be into some sort of technical subject as their profession. It could be IT or anything related to computers. Then also I see delay in marriage for about it, since it's Saturn involved in that, maybe 36th year will be prominent for marriage, and rest we have to see through the dasha, so it's a very lengthy process which cannot be done here. Okay. And you want to know about your spouse and marriage? Yeah, it's, I feel it's all about it. Okay. And I need to see your dhara karka also. Yeah, your Dharakarka is in the 11th house. So actually, your Dharakarka is going to get activated uh, from April 2023 till 2024 April. So definitely within the coming 1 year, you're going to interact with your spouse. And the relationship will also start. So of course, the marriage will happen after this 1 year or within this 1 year. Okay, next. Mm, okay, Megha, I did answer for you, but I guess since my video got lagged, you guys couldn't hear me. But I've posted that video. You guys can see this. Megha, I suppose I gave you a time of job switch. It was a number four. So within 4 weeks or 4 months, there might be a shift in your job. Okay, next. Okay, I it just went away. Next, UJ. Oh, Upasna. I'm answering for you. So your details are April, uh, April 19th, 1999. Oh, 702. Okay. So you want to know about permanent settlement in US. Okay. So you have Saturn and Sun in the first house. Your first lord is in the seventh house. Your seventh lord is in the second house. So it's like a lot happening within this chart. But yes, of course, I do see you settling at a distance. I don't see you settling within where you are born, Maharashtra, right? So I don't see you settling in Maharashtra or anywhere near. I see you going at a very far distance. Second thing is you're very knowledgeable, very imaginative, very good with imagination and everything. So I see a very positive things when it's about being a novelist, maybe a story writer or anything like that. But the only problematic thing is that you have moon and Venus in your second house, which might that shows me that you might face difficulties leaving your homeland. There can be some sort of obstacles that you might face in the traveling process. Okay. And your Bhrigu Bindu. Your Bhrigu Bindu is in the ninth house, of course, since I told you guys earlier that with Bhrigu Bindu in the ninth house, a person has to travel at a distance to find their fortune, right? Or it can be just about the ninth house matters, that the higher knowledge, teaching someone, being a philosophical, being a spiritualist, you might find your fortune. So your Bhrigu Bindu is in the ninth house in the sign of Sagittarius, and it's Purva Ashar. So Purva Ashar is more related to strategies and forming strategies. So whenever a person has Purva Ashar to be the, to be the Bhrigu Bindu, I've seen most of the financial strategists with that Bhrigu Bindu, or I've seen people who are involved with Venetian things type of career, like career related to luxury and anything like that. But in your case, you have your you have the Lord of Purva Shar, which is Venus in the second house. Then your Jupiter is in the 12th house. So what I feel is that your work can be related to some sort of uh, you know advising people about their lifestyle or food, maybe nutritionist, something like that. Of course. Okay. Yeah, with your Atma Karka and Amatya Karka also, I feel that you might be very good with nutrition and everything, and some sort of research work, more into medical line and stuff like that. Okay, next. Okay, Ishank. You want me to tell you about your Bhrigu Bindu, right? So your details are November 3rd, 2002. Okay. So your Bhrigu Bindu is in the 12th house. 12th house is about the subconscious mind of a person, and it's also about spirituality. So either a person can be into, suppose, import and exports, if it's about business. So it can mean actually numerous things. You just have to analyze which one is it, right? So you have in the 12th house, and it is in the nakshatra of Ashlesha. It's more about medicines and medicine related line. Then Mercury is in the third house. It's about creativity. Mercury is in Swati, and the Lord Moon is in the second house in Hasta. So what I feel is that your work can be, and since you have Rahu in the 10th house, so of course your work is not going to be a 9 to 5 job. It is going to be something different, where you have the highest authority and you're doing something which no one else is doing. So something, something different. Okay. And it will be more so a business related to, even related to travel, or related to computers. Okay. And since it is 12th house, it can be like you are a person who is selling tickets for foreign travel, or making people travel, anything related to that, even an agent. Okay. Next, I'll just quickly answer one to two more questions. Okay. Oh, okay. Ravi Srivastav. So you're telling me that your Atma Karka and Amatya Karka is in Lagna, and your Bhrigu Bindu is in the ninth house. So what is going to be your career path? See, whenever Atma Karka and Amatya Karka both are in the ascendant, that means the person him or herself makes their own way for career. So where you have to present yourself, where you have to be there, you have to, mostly people who are celebrity, or I just missed your question, but let me tell you this, that people who are supposed celebrities or who are in limelight, those are the people who mostly have their Atma Karka in the ascendant, or Amatya Karka, or both in the ascendant. So your work can be related to this, or it can be related to the education sector also.